Hello, welcome to your first science class. Today we're going to be doing a brief overview on human reproduction. I hate this unit because most students are super immature, and if you're immature, you're going to be sent to leave right away because I really didn't want to teach science for this reason. I wanted to teach it because I liked chemistry and physics, but I have to teach this too. For starters, there is a type of reproduction called asexual reproduction, and that takes one parent. That kind of production can include budding, binary fission, sporulation, vegetative propagation, and regeneration. Mitosis happens only in cells in living organisms except for reproductive cells. Meiosis is the other thing. It's at mitosis basically twice, and that happens in reproductive cells of a plant or animal. We're going to start off by going through mitosis because meiosis is very similar. The only difference is that you go through it twice for meiosis. And interphase 1 and interphase 2, which we're going to get into, are different too because you don't duplicate the DNA in the other one, but we'll get into that. This is interphase for mitosis. The X's in the middle represent the chromosomes, and the circle around it is a nuclear membrane. And this part, the cell grows and matures, and the DNA is replicated. This is where the cell spends most of its time in interphase. Here we have prophase. The red stuff represents the centrioles, and spindle fibers are the red lines. The nuclear membrane starts to disappear, and the spindle fibers and centrioles go to the opposite ends of the cell. This is metaphase, M for middle. The spindle fibers align the chromosomes across the middle of the cell, as you can see.
What terrible drawings.
Yeah, and I could draw you if I wanted to. Alright, that's enough. The next step, I guess, is anaphase. That's when the spindle fibers shorten, bringing one chromosome to each side. And it basically kind of splits in half, kind of in a weird way. This next one's a weird one. It's called telophase. That's when the nuclear membrane forms around each set of chromosomes, kind of like this. It kind of forms around it, almost wanting to split, but not quite. And this, friends, is cytokinesis. It's when it entirely splits and both of these cells are now on their own. They're not together and they're not related in any way. Now you may be wondering, how in the world does this have to do with human reproduction? Well, human somatic cells do this. And the reproductive ones do this very similarly. It's just instead of 2 of these at the end, there's going to be 4. It basically goes through mitosis twice, but it's called meiosis. And in interphase 2, it's different because instead of the DNA being replicated again, it does not do that. And now, instead of there being 2 cells, there's actually going to be 4 at the end. So basically, the main difference is mitosis. It only happens once throughout the body, non-reproductive cells. Meiosis happens in the reproductive cells, and it happens twice, resulting in 4 cells, and in mitosis, there's only 2 cells. So basically, it happens twice in one and once in the other, resulting in 2 cells for mitosis and 4 cells for meiosis. Do we get it?
Yes!
Alright, let's keep going. It's going in a cycle here because it happens again and again. Because when those cells grow, then it'll happen again, depending, except for in the reproductive cells. But in mitosis, it'll happen literally all the time. We're literally going through mitosis right now. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but...
Oh no!
Just stay calm. Everyone goes through this, goes through all the stages. This is only mitosis, not meiosis. Not right now, at least. Jack, you're turning pale. Are you alright?
Yes, Mrs. Antel.
Then quit being a nuisance and stop disturbing the class. You're ruining the mood. Meiosis is a special process reoccurring in special reproductive cells called the germinal cells. It's located in the reproductive cells called gonads. Sexual reproduction allows both parents to donate half the number of chromosomes in the body, aka somatic cells. These are called gametes, designed to combine during fertilization to form a new cell. And the first name for the new offspring is the zygote. Both male and female have gonads. For males, it's the testicles, and for females, it's the ovaries, and that's where the gametes are made. What's created from those is a sperm cell from the dad and the egg cell from the mom, which both contain 23 chromosomes each, and then they're combined into a zygote, and you get 46. We are briefly going to go over the 9-month miracle handout I gave you all. For girls here, we have some different hormones that are part of the menstrual cycle, and we can give a brief description of how they prepare the female for fertilization. The LH and the FSH hormones both cause follicle to begin growing. The follicle to begin growing, sorry. We next have the progesterone and the estrogen. The estrogen prepares a line of the uterus for fertilized egg cell, and the progesterone also just helps as well with things. Ovaries produce 1 egg per month, and the seminiferous tubules, which have the sperm in them, produce 12 billion sperm per month. There are the 2 types of chromosomes, X for a girl and Y for a guy. Girls in reproduction can only give the X chromosome, and a guy can either give a Y or an X. Thankfully, we were able to make it so only 1 sperm cell can fertilize an egg, because when the egg cell forms a barrier so no other sperm cell can get in. And we already went over this, but when 2 nuclei merge, what is it called? Meiosis. No, you moron, it's a zygote. We just went over this. Please pay attention. The egg and sperm fertilize and unite in the fallopian tube, which the girls have. After 72 hours, the zygote, which I hope you remember, has divided into 16 cells. How many? 16! Exactly. I do not want to see 14 on anyone's test. I don't want to see 20 on anyone's test. I don't want to see 15 on anyone's test. The answer is 16. This one question will be worth 10 marks. So anyways, what I was saying, after 72 hours, the zygote has divided into 16 cells and is called a morula, which is Latin for mulberry. Then, after 8 or 9 days after conception, the hollow ball of cells is now called a blastocyst, and it's slowly carried toward the uterus by tiny hair-like projections of the fallopian tube called cilia. Then it transforms again on day 9. You can now call the blastocyst an embryo. It happens quite fast. I'm going to ask some questions and I want you guys to answer it. What structure makes blood cells for the embryo?
Is it the yolk sacs?
Yes. Next question. What is the first part of the nervous system to form?
Is the neural groove?
Yes. And it takes 27 days until the neural tube is formed. There is a bundle of cells on either side of that very neural tube, and they're called somites. What structures do you think they eventually form?
The heart and lungs?
No. Oh my goodness. No. It forms the ribs, the backbone, the muscles of the arms, neck, and legs. It's kind of stuff that has to do with muscle. When the embryo is growing, it needs nutrition, oxygen, and waste removal in order to thrive. The embryo actually has an outer layer of cells that surround it, and that is called the chorion. On the days 15 to 21, blood vessels first begin to form beneath the chorionic layer, and it will develop into the placenta. And on day 21, the mom and the embryo are exchanging materials for survival. In the placenta, the mom's blood and the embryo's blood supply do not mix. The structure that prevents them from mixing is called the blood barrier. That would not be good if they mixed. Next, what we have here is the amniotic fluid. It keeps the baby warm. It prevents the kids fusing parts from the kids growing parts from fusing together. And it provides movement and comfortable cushioning for the kid. So it basically protects the kid. Think of protection when you think of the amniotic fluid. A quick summary overview is protection. It keeps the kid warm. It prevents it from fusing. And because it's not fully grown, and movement and cushioning. And the way the kid contributes to the amniotic fluid is it just pees in it.
Why doesn't it poop in it?
The kid hasn't had time to eat anything or do any of that, so there is no way for it to poop in it.
Oh.
The amniotic fluid is also helpful for the digestive and urinary systems to get practice before the kid's born. Before we end the video, we're just going to quickly go over how big the kid gets. On week 5, compared to when the kid was a zygote, it's 40 times as big. On week 8, it's around 24 millimeters big. At the start of the second trimester, week 15, it's 10.2 centimeters, which is 50 grams. 50, not 15. Then near the end of the second trimester, 27 weeks, it's 38.1 centimeters, or 907 grams. When the kid is ready to be delivered, around 40 weeks, it either weighs 6 to 9 pounds or 2.7 to 4 kilograms. The length of the kid will be 20 to 22 inches, or 51 to 56 centimeters. Anyways, that's reproduction. If any of you have questions, don't hesitate to email me. I would prefer if you email me instead of there being a big group of you asking the question, because for the email I have the option to ignore you. Anyways, thank you for watching.